One of the things that I've been incorporating in my life lately is saunas. I know it's a hot topic in the wellness community, but saunas are just saving my life at the moment. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Twenties Detox. I'm Bianca, your host, where we dive into all the things I'm learning and unlearning in my 20s to elevate this decade. This episode is a part of the Body Detox Series, where I really pull in physical health as the center point and talk about some wellness practices that can benefit you or maybe not benefit you. I am learning to be a health coach currently, and so all the things that I'm going to be sharing, I get from actual research-based, like science-based, and also things I'm learning in my classes. If you're somebody that is in your 20s and you're like, Bianca, I'm not really stressing about my physical health. I'm in my 20s. I'm not worried about cardiovascular disease. I'm not worried about Alzheimer's. I'm living my life. Do you? I totally get it. The only thing for me is I'm realizing that your 20s and 30s, they're such crucial decades so that you can be healthier in the rest of your life. And I think about the long-term game myself. I don't just think of personal, quick gratification. I really want to live a long, healthy, happy life. See as many places as I can, meet as many people as I can, and live as long as I can for my kids and my loved ones. So doing this now is super important to me. And if you are also like that, if you also feel that way, because I see videos on Instagram and TikTok of these women with their partners, they just have all these wellness things that they do to live a long, healthy, happy life with their partners. And I'm so that person. Yeah, so if you want to learn about saunas and the benefits of them, just keep listening. Before we get further into this episode, make sure to download it and follow so that you will stay up to date with future uploads. Saunas, what are they? There are many different types of saunas. There is the traditional Finnish sauna, which is what my family has, and it is, my opinion, the best that there is. You have a mix of dry heat and occasional steam, and it can either be electric or wood burning. So my parents have an electric one where they have stones on top and then you pour steam on top of that. But the majority of it is more of a dry sauna. It's not to the point of having like a steam room where it is full steam the whole time. I really like it, especially those that are wood burning, because then it's like the smell of wood as well, and it can be very relaxing. I also went to Norway recently, and one of the things that my friends and I booked was having a sauna. It was really cool because the sauna was on the water. It's called like fjord sauna, I believe. You basically sit in there, you have a 40-minute session in there, 50-minute, 40-minute, something like that. And it's so hot. Oh my goodness. It's like way hotter than other places that I've gone to. And the thing about like Finnish and Norwegian saunas, it is so much hotter. Anywhere in North America, there are so many regulations that will limit the temperature of the sauna, just how high it can actually go. There's parts in the sauna that will notice if a temperature gets too high, and then it'll shut off, which happens too much here where I live at my house. Because in Norway, I'm sure any Scandinavians or people from Finland are definitely like, what are you doing? Like, we have it so hot, and then you literally drop into the ocean there, which is absolutely freezing. And I went in the summer. I went in August, and it's so cold. I can't even imagine what it is in the winter, but that we'll get into why it's actually really beneficial to alternate between hot and cold. Other than traditional Finnish saunas, there's also the infrared saunas. They use infrared light to heat your body from the inside out, making you sweat at a lower temperature. That one I don't love as much because I don't feel like you get to your core and like the heat gets into your core as much. And then steam rooms are very humid and use moist heat instead of dry heat. Like I said, I believe the Finnish sauna is the best option for all the benefits from what I've seen through research. All of it is based on the traditional Finnish sauna with the stones, dry heat, and you can pour water on the rocks for additional steam. So that is the type of sauna and benefits that come from it in this episode. One of the very first benefits of saunas is red blood cell production. You'll also hear about it online saying EPO or erythropoietin, and that is the production of red blood cells advancing blood flow in your body. The requirements for this, though, includes slight levels of dehydration, which is something I had just realized I've been doing so wrong and my whole family so wrong because we always bring water into the sauna. You've seen it online where like everybody just brings their water into the sauna and they're sitting there and they're getting hot, and when they're feeling dehydrated, they'll drink water. But the way for EPO to actually happen is when it's in a slight dehydration mode. This produces more oxygen flow to your muscles, your brain, your heart, everything else in your body, which also improves overall endurance and performance. And one of the reasons why that's so important for cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's is when you have oxygen and all those nutrients and micronutrients that are being distributed through your circulatory system, it can go to the parts like your brain and your heart and really make sure it's detoxing all those areas for better health. So like if you think about it, the long-term benefits, of course, is reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's. But in the short term, if you are somebody who weight trains and works out or has I currently threw my back out from skiing and falling recently, and saunas are incredible at just stimulating blood flow so that it can repair what it needs to repair. It's bringing all the micronutrients and elements to those areas. From what is recommended when you go into Finnish saunas, you work out, you get exercise in, and then afterwards you have a glass of water. They recommend sometimes putting a little bit of salt in it to promote a little dehydration. It's wild. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. And then you go into the sauna up to 15 minutes and you do 3 cycles up to 15 minutes, 5 to 15, depending on how much you can take. And then that's it. There's a lot of differences between like temperature because Finnish and Norwegian temperatures of saunas are like really, really high. I have sat in a sauna that went to like 120 Celsius, and apparently it's not the best for you. That research is still needing to be done, to be fair. One of the studies in the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation, they found that people that use saunas 4 to 7 times a week had 65% lower risk of Alzheimer's compared to those who didn't. There was something else about these studies where you need to make sure everything is in moderation. We hear it a lot about the wellness community, like people tend to overdo certain things, and when you overdo it, actually can have the same effects as if you don't do it at all. There's a happy balance between a lot of things in the wellness community, including saunas. So having a sauna every day doesn't really make it any better for you than if you do it a few times a week. They found that in certain research. Also, cranking the temperature up super, super, super high might have more negative impact on you than hovering around the 100 degrees Celsius level. So that's something that I've been learning about a lot of wellness practices, including saunas, that you don't need to go to the extremes, and actually you don't even want to go to the extremes because it's not going to benefit you in the way that you want. Keeping that happy medium is really, really important here. About Alzheimer's, I want to just briefly be transparent about something here. I have a family history of Alzheimer's. When I decided to learn more about my health, I did 23andMe. and found that I had 2 sets of the APO4 genes, which is the Alzheimer gene, and it increases your risk substantially. However, I don't think of it as a way of paralyzing me or setting me back. I'm just really proactive with my health, and that is one of the reasons as to why I am interested about these things, right? So if you know family members in your life who have Alzheimer's, you might have like a higher chance of getting it. However, the way that you treat your body before then can really prevent your risk of getting it in the first place. Of course, we need to talk about some detoxification. So another benefit of saunas includes the detoxification and sweating. Sweating is one of your body's natural ways of getting rid of toxins in the first place, and sauna basically takes that process to the next level. According to research, sweating in a sauna can help remove heavy metals, BPA, and other environmental toxins that build up in our bodies over time. If you are in your 20s and this still is not convincing you, these are 3 benefits that happen now from taking saunas. One of them, saunas help with clear skin, for sure. I've seen it because it promotes circulation in your body, including all the toxins that might be held up around this area. Your lymphatic system might hold toxins in this area that contribute to breakouts. So when you have something that promotes the circulation in your body like that, it can flush out some of those toxins. Energy and recovery boost is another benefit of saunas. If you're constantly exhausted, because I deal with fatigue a lot, chronic fatigue, or you are sore after workouts, or you've thrown out your back like I have skiing, it's so powerful in speeding up recovery because it improves, like I said, the blood flow to any of those areas and will reduce the inflammation. Lastly, if you are somebody in your 20s, you are stressed from time to time. And saunas are so amazing at reducing stress and boosting your mood. The heat will trigger endorphins, which is the same thing that happens working out. And they found that working out high intensity and getting up blood flowing is 1.5 times better than sometimes therapy and medication for depression and anxiety. So putting your body into the state and allowing the endorphins to go through your body is so good for your mood. It also will lower your cortisol levels that contribute to stress. And stress is like the deadly killer. Stress causes so many issues from affecting your gut, affecting your brain, your productivity. I tend to meditate. My boyfriend and I will go a lot and we'll just sit in there and we'll chat for a bit, and then it'll get too hot and then we'll just breathe and meditate, which is so relaxing. And honestly, afterwards, I feel on top of the world. So it's definitely a really great way to regulate your nervous system if you feel like it's on overdrive. The last thing that I will say about saunas that I love to do, it's not really the sauna itself, but it's combining hot and cold. So in the summer months, what I'll do is have a session. The Finnish people say that you should have 3 sessions. So you go in there for up to 15 minutes, then you get out, and then you cool down, and then you go back in again and repeat that a full 3 times. And in between the sauna sessions for the summer, I'll jump in a lake, a pool, I'll dump cold water on me, I'll just cool my body temperature down, and then I'll go back in for another session. In the winter months, this is when you got to be more brave, and I roll in the snow, and it's honestly so shocking, but after you do that, you feel so incredible. Nothing beats that feeling, honestly, guys. I just feel so incredible after it that I just become addicted. And the benefits of that, it aids to reducing inflammation in your body when you do that. Anyway, this was a quick episode. I feel like I couldn't talk about a body detox series without bringing in saunas. So it's definitely one of my tried and true methods to mental health, physical health, and longevity. I'm going to talk a little bit more quiet, but for my mom's birthday present, I am getting her new stones for her sauna and also a hat. Because sometimes what you can do is like will your head will get like really, really hot. So then you can't stay in as long for up to those 15 minutes. And putting on a wool hat will allow that to absorb the heat and you can stay in there longer to get the benefits of the sauna. So that's what I'm getting for my mom, and I'm also going to use for myself. But I honestly love sauna so much, and I'm part Norwegian, so I feel like I am drawn to these kind of activities. And my family members have always had saunas everywhere. Like my boyfriend's family is also the same way. They just got like a portable sauna, which is so cool. And honestly, surprisingly, like very, very good. It can get to high temperatures if it's not like blazing cold outside, which happens in the wintertime. But it's just like really cool that you can have that. And one of the things that I haven't mentioned, but it isn't like the sauna, but it's the fact that you literally just get to have like social connection with people free of any other distractions. I think about that and how my boyfriend and I will have like the most amazing conversations in the sauna. Like that is when we have the best conversations because we can't bring our phones in there. We can't even there's no distractions around us. It's just like each other. And you're forced to like focus on your breathing and calm down. And sometimes we just have like brainstorming sessions and talk about life. And like I would recommend doing this with a friend or a loved one because you're going to have such amazing conversations and really that boosts your serotonin in the end of it. All the happy hormones are stimulated in sauna sessions. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode about this body detox, and I can't wait to talk to you guys another time next week. This one was a little bit of a goofy episode. I apologize, guys. Like my camera is dead, so I've just been using my computer for this one. It's the end of the day. It's like 6 o'clock on a work day, and I just wanted to get this episode recorded for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.